The time has come for lions to tell I and I own story. Yes, you're listening to Lion's Voice. I and I is Dejazmatch hailing from the island of St. Croix. Yeah, I'm bringing to you Rastafari vibes. Can you feel it? Rastafari. Babylon born when Rasta come together. Can you feel it? Rastafari, because Babylon done when I and I come together. Look how we live together, look how we work together, Oh, Babylon done when Rasta come together. Hail I, Rastafari, His Majesty and Empressment and bless. Yeah man, hailing from St. Croix, Rastafari, I hear you.
Aye.
What do you have to tell the people about Ras Tafari?
Eye to the world. The King of Kings and the conquering line of the tribe of Judah. I left himself. Where's my ruler? Hey yo! Yeah. Hear them high, hear the Black King on the 23rd of July. So tell them guy who praise God up in the sky, it's a lie. The Almighty living on your night. From ancient time them a try. Them Romans know them just open them suit and ties. Criminals ain't got no alibi, they stole my people. Then them come without them genocide.
Are you talking about slavery?
Them couldn't kill. The lion will come conquer Judah tribe. Go through tribulation, I strive, see sufferation, I still rise. That's why we tell them in America, live Rastafari in every ghetto area. We come to tell them in Toronto, straight at
If you have not done so, make sure that you subscribe to the channel. We are building a platform. This is a Rastafari owned platform. And the theme of this is that the time has come for the lions and the lionesses to tell our own story. And so we have a lioness here who is going to tell her story. And again, it's a great honor. Professor at the University of the Virgin Islands, which I recently learned is a HBCU, which those who know, I'm the product of that Howard University. So much, Dr. Chinzira.
Give thanks.
I'm long-winded, but
no, that's not long-winded. That's a good win. That's a good win. That's a good win. Well, first and foremost, in the name of His Imperial Majesty and her Imperial Majesty, I'm grateful. I'm very grateful for the opportunity to even be able to share just a thread of some of the works, some of the word sound powers, some of the raw evolutionary engagements that really bring I and I together. It's been a whirlwind, literally, to just have this type of energy grace our I, St. Croix, Freedom City, Twin City space. It's wonderful, and I realize that it's brought together another layer for persons to really see Rastafari in its liberty, in its highest form, in its highest sense, and to bring that harmony.
Yes.
You know, that persons say reconnection, and sometimes we don't like to use the term con, so I'll just say realignment. And it's not dead, so it's not a resurrection, but a re-elevation of how I and I really begin to reason, engage, you know, the passion that came from yourself and Empress, Sister Queen, Dr. Bedford. I was amazed at the impact it had on the students. You know, the energy that you brought forth in lecture form. When you start doing your word sound power, you start doing that spoken word, when you spoke to their soul spirit space, that was amazing. And it's an honor to even be on the Lion's Voice with I and I.
It's midnight day and we haven't even got into the interview properly, people. All right. Who is the I? Where were you born? Give us the evolution and your journey to Rastafari.
I have to always start that I'm born in the womb of my beloved mother, Yunali Berenice Tomas Davis. who is 100. She will be 101 in a few days, and still amongst us, still clear. I spent most of my childhood in what people know as Santo Domingo, but specifically in República Dominicana in San Pedro de Macorís.
Okay, language start, come on. All right.
And I have, my maternal relatives also are connected. We always say Sua Liga. And when we think of St. Martin, it's not Dutch or French. We're speaking of one St. Martin.
Okay.
And so it's very important for me to show that respect for my family in that regard. And within the Caribbean, most of my childhood was spent. And I did have the opportunity, and just because of the economy and the challenges that many people of African ancestry experience in this region, we know as the Caribbean and the Americas. My parents migrated, I wouldn't call it forced, but the economy shifted that, the political climate, particularly in República Dominicana with, Trujillo, the energy happening in other parts of the Caribbean, many Africans, it wasn't safe. And so the opportunities appeared to be north.
Okay.
And we didn't have that option at that time of just getting into the African spaces. However, I was very fortunate to be around persons that kept that African presence. My father was very influenced. An African man, yes, Quisqueya, or the indigenous persons of African ancestry in that place called República Dominicana. And that includes Haiti. So again, I come from a family that was on all sides of that island, not the Hispaniola piece, not just the San Dominguez piece, but what you hear in those national anthems, Quisqueya, those original indigenous persons that came not only from a Mayan space, but from a very African space. My father was very melanated and reminded us as we were growing up very discreetly of his work around great ones like Garvey. I didn't know until I was older his role in the Garvey movement. I didn't know of his personal knowledge of persons like Carlos Cook. I didn't know that until I was, an adult. And I recognized why he was discreet with that, because of that vibration and the energy in the 50s and the 60s coming into the 70s. So I'm very grateful for that kind of that uprooting, to keep me centered, to keep me grounded in that global African, Pan-African, ancestral African space, and to show respect for our ancestors, to show respect for the regality, right? And my father introduced me to literature about His Imperial Majesty, even though my father was not Rastafari. But maybe he was, and I missed that. But he guided us to really not understand, that's the academic side, to really understand the importance of ancestral legacy, to look at the East and to study about the East. And not that dealing with West Africa was a limitation, but just that our legacy was not from enslavement come forward. Our legacy was not from colonization come forward. Our legacy wasn't from all these eras of terror coming forward, but to look at when we were royal, when we were kings and queens, when we mastered mathematics and science, and when we mastered architecture, and we mastered engineering. And, he was a chemist. As an African man, this country people refer to as the U.S. didn't facilitate his ability to do his skill. So he did many other things. Even though in the background, he was helped certain corporations, certain pharmaceutical centers with formulations. I didn't catch all of that because I was quite young. So I'm grateful that I just kept following the guidance. Once you're obedient to spirit, once you're obedient to the energy that's brought forth by the Most High, then you can keep that kind of drive going.
So the journey to Rastafari, when did you say, okay, I'm going to identify, because there are many Pan-African there are many pathways on the Pan-African journey. Why Rastafari? Why not Kemit? Why not Hebrew Israelite?
Well, because we did all of that. Because everybody did all of it. You come to, as a youth, you're going to be around persons that are into Rastafari. And Rastafari looked a little different. It wasn't as grounding. It seemed very patriarchal to a point that was somewhat kind of resistant, especially for young doctors like myself at that time that were, we were around very strong women.
Rastafari. Black woman, I say your heart is so golden. I know you were chosen. This world cold, but your heart never frozen. Anyway then, black woman, I wanna see you smile again. Wanna see you walk beside the Nile again. Wanna see you raise the African child again. I wanna see you living in style again. Then, black woman, I wanna see you rise again. Take time, look in your eyes again. One touch, nature rise again. Black woman, don't be surprised again. Then, black woman, look how she work and slave. Right by my side down in a this slave trade. History can record the sacrifice she made. Reparation can match all the price she paid. She now go live like no mice that afraid. So I and I the lion of is strong and brave. She says she love the way the king of kings I praise. Plus me no trim nor shave. Anyways, well then, black woman, I wanna see you smile again. Wanna see you walk beside the Nile again. Wanna see you raise the African child again. I wanna see you living in style again. Then, black woman, I wanna see you rise again. Take time, look in your eyes again. One touch, nature rise again. Black woman, don't be surprised again. Then, black woman, I know he hurt you bad. You grow with your mother, never know you're dead. Your boyfriend will beat you anytime he mad. Plus you not get no joy from the job she have. But she not go say coffee, no life that sad. Work too hard, feel no happy and glad. She search for your man, we got a righteous drag. She find a man with a red, gold and green flag who never brag. Black woman, I wanna see you smile again. Wanna see you walk beside the Nile again. Wanna see you raise the African child again. I wanna see you living in style again. Then, black woman, I wanna see you rise again. Take time, look in your eyes again. One touch, nature rise again. Black woman, don't be surprised again. Then, you're always welcome to come home. She's searching for a love is real, and she don't wanna be alone. She says she wanna love that she can feel. David offspring's on the throne, and I know that he loosed the seventh seal. Babylon, dear, falling down. That is just what the prophecy revealed. Well,